All right, guys, the Iceman here on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel. It is a Wednesday, and I had a hell of a day yesterday. I was up at 4 in the morning. I had to be at work at 6. I got out at 6:15 last night. Um, got home, did a few things, and later on, I went on Facebook and stuff, and I went to bed pretty early. I got up at 6 this morning. I went on Facebook. I had a couple personal messages, actually three, from my buddy Peter Gilmore. You know, um, my nephew Matt, my brother Dave, about the Ultimate Warrior passing away. It's like really weird. I mean, he was 54 years old. He just got inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame. He just recently signed a 3 years Legends deal with the WWE. He mended fences with Vince McMahon, and he was going to come into a lot of money from the WWE for signing this 3 year contract, and he ends up passing away. It's just like unbelievable. Um, and the thing of it is, there's so many great people in the world of professional wrestling that die so very, very young. I mean, he was 54 years old. I mean, that's not old by any means. I'm old, gosh. But they said it was a catastrophic medical condition. They haven't really said a heck of a lot. It was probably a heart attack. But then again, we don't really know. But it's so unfortunate. Um, I mean, I was a big Warrior fan back in the days. I remember when at WrestleMania 6, when he had the Intercontinental belt and he wrestled Hulk Hogan. It was title for title, and he ended up defeating Hulk Hogan to become both the Intercontinental and the WWF champion. And that was a big thing back then. And, back in those days, the Ultimate Warrior had the ribbons tied around his arms to, pretty much to show the muscles just showed a lot better because you tie up the vessels and whatnot, and you get put pressure on the arms. And he had a great gimmick, but he was one of those guys that Vince had a lot of trouble with, um, and it went on, and it got to the point where Vince and him, you know, Vince had to part ways, and the Ultimate Warrior left the WWF, and to see him at the Hall of Fame was sort of like brought back a lot of memories of the Ultimate Warrior, and I was sort of glad that they did bury the hatchet. And it didn't matter to me whether he signed a 3 year deal with for a Legends contract or not. But then again, not seeing him involved in the WWF, WWE in so many years, it was something different. So it was something, you could say, okay, this is going to be pretty cool. It's unlike seeing Ric Flair for 20 something years just make a fool of himself, which is totally unfortunate. But um, yeah, it's a sad day after hearing about Jim Hellwig was his actual name, passing away, and totally unfortunate. But again, just so many people that are involved in professional wrestling. They die so young. It's just another one to add to the list. And the list is so huge. I mean, it would take an hour to name everybody off that, passed away before their time. And, but, yeah, it makes me wonder um, if you, and it's not just the WWE or the WWF in their older days or the WWF. Other wrestlers have passed away from other promotions. I mean, look at the WCCW with all the Von Erichs. That was a definite tragedy there. But what is it about the world of professional wrestling and people dying so young. Obviously, we know there was a big issue with steroids. A lot of wrestlers wanted to get big because they wanted to have a huge career. When you got hurt, you got involved with drugs, prescription drugs. You got hooked on those drugs. You couldn't get off them. And it was such a big cover up for so very long, like back in the 80s, as we all know about the story with Vince McMahon, Bruno Sammartino, and Hulk Hogan. Um, and now, of course, the WWE has the wellness policy. But, you know, if you are a very intelligent person, you know that in the WWE, if you're a major superstar and you fail one of these wellness policy tests, it's going to get covered up. And, you know, the cover up is to the WWE advantage, not to the superstars advantage, because eventually this cover up could lead to that superstar's death. And that's what people have to realize. And the world of professional wrestling, I just really don't know what it is. I mean, it's basically, I guess, because these stars or, average stars want to become mega stars. So they'll do what they have to do to build up their bodies and whatnot and fight through injuries night in and night out and perform to please all of us wrestling fans. And, you know, I, for one, I don't feel guilty for the fact. I mean, we shouldn't feel guilty that these things happen to these guys because we're not the ones who are telling them, you know, do what you got to do to perform for us. I mean, I grew up. If you're injured, you're injured. I mean, if you have back pain and you get prescribed Vicodin or Percocets or whatever they give you, OxyContin, use it respectively. There are those out there that you start using those kind of things and you get addicted to it. And if you feel that's what's happening to you, you need to go and seek help. Unfortunately, in the wrestling business, you don't have the time. I mean, you're wrestling close to 300 days out of the 365 days a year, and you don't want to push the wrong button with management because if you do, you're out on the street. And that's the bottom line with the business that a lot of people don't know about. They think it's a wonderful world going into the WWE, but it's really not. You work your ass off. You're pretty much told what you have to do, and a lot of times, I mean, yes, you get a halfway decent paycheck, but you absolutely go nowhere. I mean, unless you're good on the mic, you have great wrestling skills, you're friends of upper management. If you don't have these things, chances are you're going to be a mid carder or a lower card person. You're going to be somebody that's going to open up a show, or you may not get on the main show. You may not get on a tape show. You may get on the lowest show that they have. You know, it's just how it is in the wrestling business. But again, um, the Ultimate Warrior passed away at 54 yesterday. Jim Hellwig. Condolences to his family, and I just hope that the list of deaths that with stars that are involved in the world of professional wrestling just get less and less and less because the list is so huge. It's a very sad affair. This is the Iceman on the Iceman's Return YouTube channel. Again, it's a Wednesday. Peace out, everybody. And I have to say this. Congratulations to the UConn women Huskies who defeated Notre Dame last night in a match that was no contest. Connecticut has double national champions. Can't get any better than that. Peace out, everybody.